Do you have a problem with brush overtaking the permanent fence lines? I've found that even if the fencer burns the vegetation until it's brown, once it rains, my voltage drops 4 kV or below anyways.
Yeah, it's just part of electric fence.
And we will go through, around the perimeters of farms. Depending on the perimeter, like if it's through the woods or something, we probably won't, but go around different farms and we'll cut off using either a brush blade on a weed eater or chainsaw or loppers, and we'll clear a lot of the heavy brush. And that's we're talking about trees that big or whatever, or brush as opposed to grass. But as far as grass and forages and weeds and stuff, smaller plants, we don't really have.
You need to make sure if you're dropping that much kV on just green vegetation that you have a big enough charger. Because if you have a charger that has enough joules, it'll be able to power through a lot of that voltage.
And you'll definitely drop some
it'll
during the rain.
For sure.
But it should still keep some, not a crazy amount.
Yeah, when it's drier, or in the wintertime where there's not as much vegetative load, if you're pushing 9 kV, it's pretty normal that in the summertime when it rains, you're down to the 4s, 5s. That's pretty normal. Mm-hmm. As long as you don't drop down to nothing. If you drop down to nothing, then maybe your charger's not big enough. But yeah, drops like that, I guess, are pretty normal.
Yeah, just part of
it.
Yep.
And generally, if it's 4 kV and up,
as long as you have 4,000.
As long as you have 4,000 volts or high 3s at the absolute minimum, you should feel pretty safe that your animals are going to stay in. That's a pretty good shock. Mm-hmm. Anything above that is just even more reinforcement. But when you start to get below that is when you need to start looking at finding a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hear that?
Yeah.
It's our mouse friend. I bet he's in one of these cabinets.
We'll have to find him later.
Find him in a bit. He's chewing on something.
Been trying to trap this sucker.
He's been trying to trap this mouse for how long?
A long time.
It's been
at least a month.
He tripped it. I don't know if it was him, but he tripped it the other day. Both of the traps. And I saw blood on the floor, but then I couldn't find a mouse. So I don't know if it was that mouse or if it was
He's a smart little
another
dude.
one.
Anyway.
Anyways.